without having to alter the game in any way. I even feel like if I have to alt tab to go check something, now that's changing parameters on whatever I'm testing. So again, it was more thought in just, I wanted a cool AIO. I definitely, that one put me in a spot where I was like, oh, I can't do this and I can't do that and I can't watch this and that. If I wasn't doing the testing, I probably wouldn't have upgraded that. But I said, it looks cool too, so why not? Especially since they helped out with everything else. So that cost me, I got a really good deal on it. Those things are like $450. I got it for $350. I had a great deal on it, brand new. We got the processor for $430, 9850 X3D. So shop around. I think these are going for like $500 right now, but if you shop around, you can find them for less. $430 is all I paid for mine. Of course, the Patriot dropping a bomb with Artemis. I still can't believe we're going to have 96 gigs in this thing, but we are going to do some interesting testing, some single stick testing, where we see how this runs with just one stick. We'll run it at slower speeds. We'll overclock it. I might even still be able to get my hands on a 16 gig stick, I'm hoping, so that I can do some 16 gig testing, some 48 gig testing, and then finally 96. Do some different ranges and different speeds and see how the processor deals with that, with it being that X3D, because it doesn't really react with RAM, definitely not like the Intel ones do. These X3D chips, you can really get away with a lot less RAM than you might have thought, even before, like 32 gigs. Oh, 32, we need 32. X3D, you can get away with a lot less, as it just doesn't access the RAM. And you don't need the 6000 CL30 either. You can really get away with slower speed stuff and either overclock it or, that those speeds really affect your gaming in such a small way that it's just not worth paying those premiums right now. Screw that. But even the RAM kit we were going to line up, it was going to be 32 gigs Corsair RAM for $300, and that wasn't going to be too bad. So overall, we've got the motherboard is the X870E TAC-H, and that's the one we're actually testing. That's the one we're on the hook for with Asus to test and review that. So keep an eye on Reddit. I'm actually going to try and put a prelim review out on Reddit here tonight or tomorrow. And then tomorrow when we do the build, I'm going to try and record it, and then that will go up on TikTok and YouTube. And then I'll do another review later after we do some sim testing and stuff with DCS and War Thunder of a final performance review of the motherboard. So we've got 2 reviews of the motherboard coming, and then we'll sprinkle in testing stuff with the AIO and things like that. I don't necessarily need to test that, but we're going to while we're doing the motherboard anyway. So that's the motherboard, which is really just as good as the TAC-E. It just doesn't light up. It doesn't have the lighting on the board. It controls ARGB, but it doesn't have it on the board. And then the power is a little less. So the TAC-E has 18 2-to-1 rated at 110 amps. This motherboard is 16 2-to-1 rated at 80 amps. That's the biggest difference between the two. And it is going to be interesting to see in testing if that makes much of a difference, especially with high speed, War Thunder gaming, ARB kind of stuff. And we'll be able to directly see it too, because Knight just bought that other motherboard. So when he starts using it, we'll be able to see. I have the slightly better processor. He's got the slightly better motherboard. So we'll see. I would bet it's going to be a wash, to be honest. But the price difference in the two, this motherboard right now is selling for $340, and the TAC-E is selling for around $400 even, $399. That $40 difference should be a little bigger, because that TAC-E is a solid motherboard. This one definitely dials it down a little bit, certainly more budget, so it should probably be closer to $300. It's still a high-end motherboard, but you know, they wanted to make it a little more budget, but then they only lowered it $40. Like, I don't get that. That's going to be in the review, Asus. It should be cheaper. It's an awesome board, and it's got almost all the bells and whistles. But when you're talking about gaming, if you're going to take the lights and all the bells, all that stuff away, give us the extra power. That's what we want. The power. Urgh. Give me more power. So yeah, that'll be interesting. That's the one difference that I think is going to be kind of a big one. Now, other than that, they're essentially identical. And then putting that 9850X3D in there, I'm curious to see how much we'll be able to overclock it, if at all. Because it's already kind of overclocked, but we'll see. And then 96 gigs of RAM. It's 96 gigs, 6,000 mega transfers, and then CL28, which is nuts. It's a $1,300 kit. So thank you, Patriot. So all in all, we're in on the processor. I spent at 350. I think I spent extra like $50 to upgrade the AIO, which is nothing for that AIO. So that's all we're in on. And I bought the case, the little aluminum case. Thank you, YOLO 35 streaks. That's insane. Holy cow, what is happening? What am I missing here? Matt, man. Oh, I hope you're feeling well. And so yeah, the aluminum case, I had to build it. But it only cost me $30, and it's all aluminum. And I can build onto it if I need to, which is really cool. I like the fact that I can add to it or take away from it or whatever the case may be. If I ever want to add more water cooling or something, it's just tack it on. It's really easy. Well, Matt, man, what's up, man? Thank you for the raid. We just doing some PC talk. I just got done opening up my new AIO. Oh, I went through that thing way over there. Oh, yes, the new PC is going to have the new Ryu. The new Ryu 4. Can't wait. That big old screen on there. It's got that 6.6 screen that's curved. And apparently, we'll mess around with it, but apparently it will show 3D, like, videos and stuff. Without glasses, like you can see it with the naked eye, so that'll be interesting. It'll mostly just show diagnostics. I just want it for the testing to be able to real-time monitor the temps and clock frequencies and stuff when we start overclocking and doing that stuff. But Matt, man, thank you, man. Again, I saw that you weren't feeling well, so I hope you're doing better. Dragged into the back rooms, yeah. Towards the end there, me and Strax, we were getting drug out back ourselves there for a couple matches. We had a few that we were doing well. I think it was either I would have a good one and then you would have a good one. Those last few, man, they were making us bleed a little bit. I feel ya. Go figure. We get out of the Su-30 and the Su-27 and we start getting slapped. But yeah, I got my first Su-30 today, so today has been a good day. Can't complain at all. The day you get the Su-30. Let's go take a look at it again, because I only flew it a couple times. But we did it. It's going to be fun. It's instantly... the second you take off in it... Oh, I see why it's overpowered. You can like instantly feel it. The motherboard I have is Asus TUF B650. Those are still okay though. If you're up on DDR4 still, you're still all right. A lot of people are going back and doing DDR4 builds now to try and ease that pain. Although, again, here in the near future, we should see them start coming back down because that whole deal with that AI company fell through. So all that RAM they were supposed to buy fell through. All that land that they were supposed to buy to build the data centers fell through. So we'll see. Now these companies have a surplus where they thought all this RAM was going to be gone. Now it's extra. But I still don't see them putting prices back to where they were, because now they've gotten a taste of what they can get for it. 97F an i9 or something. Yeah. The what is it? The 147? Is it the i9 147? That one's still really good, I would say. And I would not be switching to AMD right now if it wasn't being forced to, basically, by, by Asus. I was planning on going Intel. I've mostly been an Intel guy. I think I've only done one AMD build in the past, and it did not go well. I mean, it was fine. I mean, the computer lasted its life and all that, but I just remember having lots of compatibility issues and just little things, like little things the whole time that would go wrong. And I know that's much better now. I'm not expecting any of those issues now. But that said, I feel like the Intel motherboards are a little better. And now that they're starting to figure out the BIOS updates and people are figuring out how to work. Oh, I didn't mean to join that game. All right, I guess we're going to play a game in the Su-30. You're starting to see Intel pass AMD again. And in the testing, I've been saying it for quite a while that, I don't know what everybody's all up about AMD for. All the tests I see, Intel is still kicking their ass. Except for gaming, this one little niche of gaming, and it's neck and neck. When you look at the testing, I mean, AMD is just a little bit better. Are they better? Yes, but it's just a little bit. And it's kind of personal preference at that point, and I can't wait to see how it looks. Because to me, AMD, they go so fast that their games almost look choppy. It looks kind of choppy sometimes, almost like it's skipping, but it's not. It's just going so fast that it looks choppy. Intel smooths that out. Like, they may not hit the frame rate, but it looks smoother to me, if that makes sense to you guys. I don't know if you guys see that the way I do or not, but we'll see how it goes. I'm still expecting a super strong build. Thank you, man. Yeah, I'm sure you're tired, and I know you weren't feeling well. But yeah, I'm still on a 3770. 3770K, little 4-core chugger, plugging along. And I've tried to find a use. We'll push this PC pretty hard when the new one's ready. Overclock it and see what it can do. I think ultimately it's going to end up as a trophy on the wall. Not much use for it, as I can't upgrade it anymore. It won't. Every day I get a notification of your time is running out with Windows 10. That's annoying. And nicotine, swindling CEOs getting off clean. Amphetamine. But super excited. Super excited to just be off of console and PC gaming full time. Well, I love this PS5. We were talking about it yesterday. It doesn't matter how good a console is. It just is never going to be as good as a PC. Just never. It just can't do the things a PC can do. You can't fine-tune your experience like you can on a PC when it comes to like your graphical settings and things like that. Wow, we didn't have anything on there. If you don't think so, truck you. And yeah, the GPUs, that's true. 16 DDR4 3200, I think, and dual channel. So 2 pairs. That's kind of how mine is. Yep. It's DDR3, but I did get the good stuff. It's at 2800, but my PC will only run it at 16. And you can run War Thunder, but yeah. And that's exactly how mine is. I can't run it on. I can run it on medium or low settings. And either way, I only get maybe 30 minutes and it starts wigging out. It just starts overheating and skipping and just freaking out. Doesn't like it at all. And the GPU that I got, it may be a 5060. And again, thank you to Asus. But it is only the 8 gig one. So it'll be interesting to see how well an 8 gig one does when most of them are 12 or more now. Yep, he didn't do anything to try and dodge that. Thank you for the easy one. That's about as easy as they'll ever get.